So I've been asked about the bread that I was making a couple of times ago, and people got in touch and asked whether it's sourdough and blah blah blah. I know it's not. I love making sourdough, and if you want to learn how to make sourdough, then I really recommend the classes by Goldin, and I will link them underneath this. But on day-to-day bread, I now make a much simpler thing. So the key to my bread is that I use spoons and ladles and things that I know how much they measure. And also, let me just get a bowl here. I make a no knead kind of bread. You know, I used to make bread and I would spend ages and ages kneading it, and in some ways it was quite good getting all the stresses out. But actually since then I found that, you know, lots of breads, they don't need kneading, and then that just makes it so much easier for me. So first thing I do, I know that this spoon is 10 grams of salt. So, okay, when it's level, excuse me, I'm just going to boot the cat off. Okay. And what I do is, because our kitchen salt is quite coarse sea salt, you can get better quality salt for less money if you buy it very coarse. So what I do is I just dissolve that salt first in hot water. So I'll put that to dissolve. And then I know that this ladle here is 200 grams of flour. So usually I make something that is 3 white. There we go. It's in a really nice organic white flour, which I get from Shipton Mill, and then I'll put in 1 scoop of rye, but my rye bucket at the moment is really heavy, so I'll go and get that. So 1 scoop of rye, and then very handily, this same spoon, levelled off, is just the right amount of yeast, so that's 9 grams. Scoop that all round, and then I'm going to add in my water. That's still a little bit hot. Cat's on camera. Right, so I've added in some cooler water in there. Just going to pour it all in. Now I don't measure the water because what I'm wanting is a particular consistency, and how much water I need for that depends on the time of year, the kind of flour, humidity of the room, all of these kinds of things. So I'll start off with that. Now that was not enough. You can see it's still all really dry. And what I'm wanting is a consistency that's really quite sloppy. You know, you wouldn't be able to knead it. It's very wet. It will stir in all of that flour. It's a bit more like cake mixture, I suppose. You wouldn't be able to knead a cake mixture. So there I have it. And then all I'm going to do with that is leave it alone. I'll put a tea towel over it and I will leave it alone. Usually I do this last thing at night and then I bake in the morning. You could equally do it first thing in the morning, bake 6, 7, 10 hours later, whatever you like. It's very forgiving as a recipe. So I'll get a tea towel. Back up here, honestly. Tea towel over it. So this has been here for about 5.5 hours. I'm just back from a massage, so if my hair's a real kind of mess, you know why. And you can see that it is all kind of but it's twice the size that it was. Now what I need to do is I need to get that out of the bowl and into a consistency that I can put it into my my basket with its muslin in. So first of all, I'll put some flour in that so it won't stick to that. And then I'm going to just put some flour on the top, probably a couple of tablespoons, and then that just allows me to start scraping it out. Put some on my hands. What I'm wanting to do is to get away with as little flour as possible because I want to keep this really nice soft dough. So I'm just scooping it up into the middle, putting flour on the outside until it comes away from the bowl. So, like this. There we go. So it's away from the bowl. Just fold it 2 or 3 times, like that. It's just like, it's like picking up, you know what it feels like, but you want it to be kind of soft and dewy. So not all like a kneaded dough which springs back. This is much, much softer, like a kind of blancmange kind of thing. Then I pop it in here and I'll put some flour over the top so that it's not going to stick to the fabric. This is just, I actually think originally this was probably a muslin, a baby muslin. And it just lines my basket like that. And I will leave that for another couple of hours, just somewhere. And you'll see it kind of puffs up, so this bit will kind of lift up. And that's it. So this bread's all nicely puffed up. And I'm going to put this pan, which is my kind of like mini oven within an oven. You can see it's just a very old cast iron pan, which I got from as an engagement present 31 years ago. So I'm going to pop that into the oven to heat up. Right, so the pan is now heated up. I'll do that. There. Now I'll take my bread, it's in the basket, and carefully tip it onto a Teflon sheet. Pop it into the pan. The lid on. And then back into the oven for 50 minutes. Right, that is 50 minutes. So I will take the pan out of the oven. Look how good that looks. And put a cooler down there. And this is the only tricky bit.